I don't want to make eye contact with a man ever again. I've seen enough and it's not safe. I was out recently with a couple girlfriends. We're having a great time, okay? Sipping some cocktails on a back patio, chit-chatting, not a whiff of testosterone in the air. It was heavenly. My drink is empty, of course, so I make my way inside to get another one. There's an empty space at the bar right next to a very elderly gentleman. We lock eyes. Oops. But I think, you know what? He's probably safe and easy to talk to, and if he goes for me, I'll just juke him and I'll break a hip. So I sidle in. He says, hello. I said, hi. He says, I do karaoke here. I said, do you? I order my drink. We talk for a second. Then I say, okay, I'm going back to my friends. Enjoy your evening. 5 minutes later, here he comes. Shuffling out the back door. He's looking around. He's scanning. Bald head gleaming like the top of the Chrysler building. We lock eyes again. He shuffles over. He says, may I sit with you? I said, sure. He sits down, launches into some of the most inappropriate shit I've ever heard. Okay? Starts talking about what kind of women he likes. Cool. In great detail. Didn't ask. Then he begins to tell us how he was addicted to a substance that begins with an H and ends with an heroin until very recently. Cool, cool. No judgment, but not feeling too safe. Then he tells us how much he likes that substance and he likens himself to a throbbing every time he thinks about it. What? Yeah. He said, gosh, I loved it so much. I feel like a throbbing. Okay, well, you look like one too. 80 years old, still clocking into the douche factory. I wish they would all retire.
I'll take things that didn't happen for $200, Alex. I mean, damn, Queen. I know that you gave that 4th grade try at making a comedy skit, but I gotta say, it was nowhere near funny. To be honest with you, listen, it's nothing against you. I'm pretty sure that you're a struggling comedian. Emphasis on the struggling part. But 99.99% of women just aren't funny. I mean, I'll admit, you're on par with Amy Schumer, but that's not saying much now, is it? I mean, just be direct. Say what it was. You were at a bar. If you were there was an old man, he hit on you, and you were like, oh no. I'm far too young to be with an old man like that. Except you haven't looked in the mirror. Yeah, you may have him on age, but you sure as hell don't have him on SMV. Sister, let me just tell you something. When an empty egg carton like you wants to make jokes about the guy and how weird he was and whatever physical features about him you didn't like, why don't you stop and look at yourself first? I mean, just looking at you right there, I could make up like a dozen cat lady jokes. And you'd be the butt of every one. Now, sister, I do understand you gotta get your material from somewhere, but hey, your lonely dating life really isn't the best place to get your material from because, I'll be honest with you, if the old man actually went up to you and asked if he could sit next to you and you said yes, does that really say anything negative about him? That he came over to you, sat down next to you so you could try to make fun of him? Or does that speak volumes about your value? Where you're getting hit on by an old man, not any of the young guys? I mean, you had to buy your own drink. Do you know how bad of an investment in real estate you have to be for guys to decide, hey, yeah, I'm not giving you a refill here, honey. Keep walking. I mean, it's almost you got a sign on your forehead saying it's as rough as sandpaper. The treads are gone. Try it at your own risk. I mean, at this point, the old man could probably take you home, and when you start taking your clothes off, clumps of Meow Mix will start falling out. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a cat toy inside your purse and some subscription to some monthly wine magazine. And sister, I have to say, if you're going to decide to keep on dating, you better have a bottle of lube in that purse of yours because something tells me it's not a rainforest down there by any stretch of the imagination. At this point, it sounds like the old boy was doing you a favor. Moving on.